Do you ever feel completely drained by certain people? You know the type. They just seem to thrive on pushing your buttons and getting a reaction out of you. You walk away from conversations feeling small, confused, or straight up manipulated. But what if you could make them powerless without saying a single word? For years, we've been told that dealing with difficult people means you have to get loud and confrontational. But honestly, behavioral science and emotionally intelligent people tell a completely different story. True power isn't about winning an argument, it's about refusing to play their game in the first place. This video will break down 8 silent habits that work like an invisible shield, neutralizing their games so you can finally reclaim your peace. These aren't loud, aggressive tactics. They're quiet, subtle shifts in your own behavior that take away the one thing manipulators need to survive: your emotional reaction. By the end of this, you won't just have strategies, you'll have a whole new way of looking at your own power. First up, and this might be the most powerful one of all, is mastering the art of strategic silence. Think about the last time someone tried to provoke you. Maybe it was a passive-aggressive comment, a backhanded compliment, or a criticism designed to get a rise out of you. What's our first instinct? We jump in to defend ourselves, to explain, to correct them. We rush to fill that uncomfortable silence, desperate to prove our point. But here's the problem. A toxic person doesn't want your explanation. They want your emotional energy. Your defensiveness is their trophy. Your frustration is their fuel. When you over-explain, you're handing them the user manual for your emotions, showing them exactly how to push your buttons even better next time. Strategic silence completely flips this dynamic. When they provoke you, instead of reacting, you just pause. You say nothing. This silence isn't weakness. It's a fortress. It sends a powerful message without a word. Your bait doesn't work here. This pause is a triple threat. First, it gives you a second to get a grip on your own emotions instead of being hijacked by them. Second, it makes them deeply uncomfortable. They've just tossed a conversational grenade and are waiting for the boom. When it doesn't come, they're left standing alone in the awkwardness of their own attack. And third, it forces them to show their cards. To fill that void, they'll often double down, making their manipulations so obvious that they expose their own game. Applying this is simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. The next time a coworker makes a cheap joke at your expense, just look at them with a neutral expression and stay silent. When a family member tries to guilt trip you, offer no defense. Let the silence hang. You're refusing them the fight they crave, and in doing so, you take away all their power. Habit number 2 is all about treating your personal information like it's a precious resource. Let's call it information scarcity. Think of toxic people as data miners, but for your soul. They collect your vulnerabilities, your dreams, and your struggles, not to support you, but to file them away for later use. Anything you share can and will be used against you. Your moment of vulnerability becomes office gossip. Your struggle becomes their proof that you're weak. Your big success becomes a target for their jealousy. This is why emotionally intelligent people are so deliberate about who they share their inner world with. They know that not everyone has earned the right to hear their story. Practicing information scarcity means you stop volunteering personal details to people who've proven they can't be trusted. This isn't about being cold to everyone. It's about having tiers of intimacy. Your trusted circle gets the real, authentic you. Acquaintances and known toxic individuals, they get the polite, professional, and emotionally distant version. So what does this look like? When a nosy coworker asks how your weekend was, you give them a brief, generic, "It was relaxing. Thanks for asking. How was yours?" When a manipulative relative starts probing about your finances, you give them nothing. A simple "everything's fine" is a complete answer. You don't owe anyone a detailed report on your life. Your personal thoughts, fears, and joys are treasures. Sharing them is a gift, and toxic people are thieves. When you cut off their access to your data, you starve them of the material they need to manipulate you. You basically become a vault they can't crack, and eventually, they'll move on to find an easier score. Habit number 3 is a verbal judo move called conversational minimalism. It's your ultimate defense against emotional baiting. Manipulators live for drama and long, draining conversations. They love to suck you into circular arguments where you end up desperately defending your own character. They don't want a solution. They want your engagement. They feed on the back and forth. Conversational minimalism is the antidote. It's the art of using short, neutral, and factual statements that offer zero emotional hooks. This is the gray rock method in action. The goal? Make yourself about as interesting as, well, a gray rock. So what does this actually sound like? A toxic person tries to gossip, "Can you believe what Sarah did?" Instead of jumping in, a minimalist response is a simple, "I see," or, There's nothing for them to grab onto. When they hit you with unsolicited criticism like, You're handling that project all wrong. Don't defend yourself. A conversational minimalist says, "Thanks for your perspective. I'll think about that." It's polite, but it's a brick wall. It ends the loop. And for the classic guilt trip, "After all I've done for you, you can't do this one thing?" The minimalist response is a calm and simple, "I understand this is important to you, but I can't do that." These phrases are powerful because they are boring. A manipulator is an actor who needs an audience, and you're refusing to give them a show. You aren't angry, you aren't defensive, you're just there. They're trying to start a fire, and you're giving them wet sand. They'll get frustrated and eventually go look for their drama elsewhere. Habit number 4 is about becoming what I call a difficult target. You do that by setting and, this is key, enforcing firm boundaries, even when it feels awkward. Toxic people are opportunists. They don't go after everyone. They go after people they see as easy. An easy target is someone who avoids conflict, hates saying no, and has boundaries that are inconsistent or full of holes. A manipulator spots this a mile away. They know they can just push a little, and then a little more, and you'll keep giving in. The silent strategy here is to graduate from easy target to difficult target. Now, a difficult target isn't a jerk. They're just bad for business. You make the effort of trying to manipulate you way too high for the reward. Setting a boundary is step 1, but enforcing it is where the power is. And you have to enforce it without a long, drawn-out explanation. See, manipulators love explanations. Why? Because an explanation is just an invitation to a debate. Every reason you give them is a point they can argue against. So, how do you do this? You state your boundary as a fact. Instead of, "I can't come over Saturday, I've had a long week and I really need to recharge," which gives them a million openings, you simply say, "I'm not available on Saturday." Period. If someone is always late, don't complain about it every time. Set an action-based boundary. Say once, "I can only wait for 10 minutes. Next time they're late, you leave after 10 minutes. No angry text, no rant. Your action did all the talking. This will feel weird at first, especially if you're a people pleaser. But remember, no is a complete sentence. That doesn't work for me is a complete sentence. When you quietly and consistently enforce your boundaries, manipulators learn that you're just too much work. Habit number 5 is an internal shift, but it's the bedrock for everything else. It's the practice of detached observation. When you're in a toxic person's sights, it's so easy to get tangled up emotionally. Their attacks feel personal. Their words feel like they define your worth. You absorb their negativity and get swept up in the drama. This is exactly what they want. Detached observation is like taking a mental step back and watching the situation like a scientist studying a bizarre new species. You're no longer a participant in the drama, you're an observer of a behavior. So instead of thinking, "Why are they attacking me? What did I do wrong?" you start thinking, "Interesting, they're using guilt to get a specific response." Instead of feeling hurt by a backhanded compliment, you observe, a classic passive-aggressive attempt to undermine my confidence. And let's be clear, this isn't about bottling up your emotions. It's about feeling them without letting them grab the steering wheel. You can feel that flash of anger or hurt, but instead of reacting from it, you just observe it, name it, and then choose a response from a place of calm. When you practice this, you start to see their playbook. The gaslighting, the victim playing, it all becomes predictable, and once it's predictable, it loses its power to destabilize you. You can't be blindsided by a move you see coming a mile away. This internal distance is your secret weapon. It lets you stay calm in the middle of their chaos, and a manipulator has no idea how to handle someone they can't rattle. Okay, habit number 6. You have to stop playing the mind-reading game. One of the sneakiest tools a manipulator has is the unspoken expectation. They won't just tell you what they want. They'll sigh heavily, make vague comments, or use passive-aggressive body language to imply that you should already know what they need. And when you fail to read their mind, they get to act like a martyr and make you feel guilty or selfish. You know the classic, "I guess I'll just do it myself then," followed by that long, dramatic sigh. The real message is, "You should have offered, and now I'm suffering because of you." It's a power game designed to keep you in a state of constant anxiety, always walking on eggshells. The habit here is to simply stop playing. You make a choice to only respond to clear, direct communication. When they hit you with a heavy sigh or a vague comment, you don't guess. You have 2 options. First, you can take their words at face value. If they say, "Fine, I'll do it myself," you can hit them with a cheerful, "Okay, thanks." This completely deflates their entire strategy. You've refused to pick up the guilt they were trying to hand you. Or you can put the responsibility back on them. When they're giving you the silent treatment, instead of begging, "What's wrong? Are you mad?" you can state calmly, "I can tell you're not up for talking." When you're ready to tell me directly what's on your mind, I'm here. This frees you from the stress of being a mind reader, and it trains them that the only way to get what they want from you is to actually use their words. It drags their shady tactics into the daylight, and that is the last place a manipulator wants to be. The 7th habit is to actively de-escalate and disengage from chaos instead of matching it. Toxic people are agents of chaos. They thrive in drama. They love to provoke arguments and raise the emotional temperature because when everyone is flustered and angry, they're in control. When your logical brain is offline, you're much easier to manipulate. Our instinct is usually to match the energy we're given. They raise their voice, we raise ours. They accuse, we fire back. That's a trap. The second you match their chaotic energy, you've lost. You're playing their game, by their rules, on their home field. The habit of silent strength is to do the exact opposite. When they escalate, you de-escalate. When they bring chaos, you bring calm. Imagine someone is yelling at you, their voice loud, their words accusatory. The strategic response is to consciously slow down, take a visible breath, lower your own voice, speak slowly and deliberately. Your calm is like a mirror, reflecting their own chaos right back at them. It's amazing how quickly people become self-conscious about their own meltdown when you're not joining in. You can use phrases like, "I can see that you're really upset right now." This shows you're listening, but it doesn't mean you agree with them. Another power move is refusing to be rushed. Say, "I'm not discussing this when things are this heated. Let's talk later when we've both cooled down." And remember, disengaging is your ultimate power move. This could mean literally walking away from a circular argument, changing the subject to something boring, or ending a phone call. The message is clear: I will not participate in chaos. You're showing them that they can try to start a storm, but you're not providing the weather. And finally, our 8th habit. This one is the most profound, the one that changes everything. It's the shift from needing external validation to building your own internal validation. So much of our vulnerability to manipulators comes down to one thing: our need for other people's approval. We want them to like us, to approve of our choices, to see us as a good person. Manipulators are masters at weaponizing this. They give and withhold approval like a drug to keep you hooked and working to please them. The ultimate act of silent strength is to make their opinion of you completely irrelevant. This is what happens when you learn to validate yourself. Internal validation is that quiet, rock-solid confidence that you know your own worth. You trust your own judgment, and you are your own source of approval, no matter what anyone else thinks. When you have that, a manipulator's tools become useless. Their criticism doesn't crush you because your self-worth isn't up for debate. Their passive-aggressive comments lose their sting because you weren't looking for their approval anyway. Their guilt trips fail because you're secure in your own values. This isn't a switch you flip overnight. It's a practice. You build it by keeping the promises you make to yourself, by being compassionate when you mess up, by celebrating your own wins, and by surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, not people who tear you down. When a toxic person senses you genuinely don't need them to feel good about yourself, they lose all their leverage. A person who validates themselves is a puzzle a manipulator can never solve. They have no idea what to do with you. And there they are. 8 silent habits that can completely shift the power dynamic in your life. From mastering strategic silence and practicing information scarcity, to becoming a difficult target and finding your validation from within. You might have noticed the common thread here. You can't control what other people do, but you have absolute control over how you respond. Manipulators need your emotional reaction. It's the fuel their entire engine runs on. When you learn to withhold that fuel, their engine sputters and dies. This isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling, it's about being strategic. It's about saving your warmth, your vulnerability, and your energy for the people who actually deserve it. It's the art of being selectively invisible to those who would do you harm. Reclaiming your peace doesn't take a dramatic showdown. It starts quietly. It starts with you consistently practicing these subtle habits, building an invisible shield of silent strength around your well-being. If this resonated with you and you've used any of these habits in your own life, please share your story in the comments. We all learned so much from each other's experiences, and if you want more content on emotional intelligence and reclaiming your power, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So here's a little challenge for you this week. Try practicing just one of these habits. Maybe it's conversational minimalism or strategic silence, and just notice how it changes things. You've got the strength. It's time to use it.